Hey everyone, this is Jackson Martin here in the Department of Art and Art History at UNC Asheville. Going to be showing y'all some how-to videos for the course 3D Design. This first one is going to be how to change a blade. Now on your supply list you've got both utility knives and X-Acto knives, so we're going to be showing you both. So starting with the utility knife, you grab a Phillips head or flathead screwdriver and loosen the screw, remove the screw, and then you want to slide the top cover off, remove the carriage that holds the blade, and then when you put in your new blade you want to make sure that that little notch in the blade lines up with the tab on that carriage. Replace the carriage back into the knife. It also has a tab on it as well. Yeah, there's a little close-up there of the notch in the blade and the tab on that carriage. Just want to make sure it's snug before you set it all back into the bottom part of the knife. Like I said, make sure that that notch in the carriage lines up to a notch in the bottom of the knife. It doesn't matter if the blade is kind of sticking out when you replace the cover. Just be mindful that it is out. Kind of hold it together. You can retract the blade at that point. Start the screw by hand, and then of course tighten it back down real good before you set. Now one thing that happens often is that there's actually a setting for the blade to stick out just a little bit, and if you don't realize that it's set right there, you can actually injure yourself really easily. So make sure that you retract the blade all the way to reduce the chances of being cut. So that's a utility knife, and then we also are going to be using X-Acto knives in this class. So this is your X-Acto knife. The blade is actually held in place by a collet, and it kind of squeezes from all sides, keeping the blade in place. So to loosen it, you hold the knife with one hand, and then using your other hand you rotate that collet counterclockwise to loosen, remove the old blade, and then grabbing a new blade, just making sure you don't cut yourself. Be careful with that. Slide it into the slot in the collet, making sure it's set down, and then just tighten it back clockwise, really snugly, as much as you can. Believe it or not, X-Acto knives actually are sold without tops, which is mind-blowing, but it does happen. If you bought an X-Acto knife without a top, you can use something like an old cork and just insert the knife into the cork like that, or you can use a kneaded eraser, something that you would probably have from 2D-Design, or even just a regular eraser, something to put on that pointed tip so you don't hurt yourself. The other thing you can do is actually loosen the blade when you're done with it, turn it upside down, put the point in there, tighten it back. Anything you can do so that when you reach your hand down into your bag, you're not going to slice yourself on your blade. Now, used blades, okay, when they're dull or they're gross, do not put them in the trash can, okay? When housekeeping comes to pick up the trash bag, if there's a used blade in there, they're going to cut themselves. We have containers in class for used blades, such as old bottles or boxes. That's where you want to put your blade.